June 1995. A towering 32-foot statue of Michael Jackson sails down the River Thames, daring the world to look up. Days later, a futuristic duet called Scream blasts across TV screens, the most expensive music video ever made at the time. This wasn't a comeback, it was a battle cry. Under intense scrutiny and constant headlines, Jackson launched his boldest reinvention yet, an era of record-breaking hits, jaw-dropping visuals, and controversy that still sparks debate today. 30 years later, the history era remains one of pop music's most dramatic chapters. Here's how Michael Jackson fought for his legacy, and why the world is still talking about it. On June 20th, 1995, Michael Jackson released a double album with a split personality. Disc 1, History Begins, is the greatest hits map from Don't Stop Till You Get Enough to Black or White. Disc 2, History Continues, is the rebuttal. New songs that confront scrutiny, fame's price, and control. That structure is the thesis. First, remember what I've already done. Then listen to what I still need to say. Context matters. The early 1990s put Jackson under the harshest spotlight of his career. Headlines got louder, and so did the expectations. Instead of disappearing, he escalated. Bigger concepts, sharper words, and a marketing campaign you couldn't miss even if you tried. The stage was set, but the opening shot wasn't a ballad. It was a blast shield. And that shield sounded like a siren. Scream, the long-awaited duet with Janet Jackson, is adrenaline with edges. The groove snaps tight, the chorus fires like a flare, and the message is unmistakable. Push me and I'll push back, musically, visually, and at scale. The short film, what most people call the music video, was directed by Mark Romanek and became legendary for its high-concept look and widely reported multi-million-dollar budget. Awards piled up. Debates over most expensive ever came and went. The real point stuck. Jackson could still build worlds. Under the Chrome, the song plants the core theme of the era, control. If Bad chased respect and Dangerous explored seduction and spectacle, History stares down surveillance, accusation, and a media machine that never sleeps. Pairing with Janet wasn't just family synergy, it sharpened the tone. Two powerhouse voices, one stance. If the song was the shield, the marketing turned that shield into a monument. You didn't just hear history, you saw it looming over cities. Giant statues modeled on the album art appeared across Europe. In London, a 32-foot figure seemed to float down the River Thames, passing Tower Bridge like a moving headline. Subtle? Not at all. Effective? Absolutely. The campaign reframed the conversation. Less tabloid noise, more myth-making. Even critics who found it over the top had to admit the audacity. This was branding as theater. When the story around you gets too loud, you make an image that's louder. Love it or hate it, you remember it. They Don't Care About Us doesn't walk, it marches. Built on pounding percussion, it blends protest heat with a chant-like hook. But the track also sparked one of the era's sharpest controversies. Upon release, several lyrics were widely interpreted as containing anti-Semitic slurs. Jackson strongly denied this intent, explaining that his words were meant as a metaphor for prejudice of all kinds, not as a literal attack on any group. To calm the storm, he later re-recorded those lines for subsequent versions. To frame the message, he teamed with Spike Lee for two striking short films. One in Santa Marta, a hillside community in Rio de Janeiro, the other in Pelourinho, the historic center of Salvador. Local officials initially tried to halt filming, worried about how poverty might be portrayed. An injunction cleared the way. The result is a sound with an address. The Elotum drums give the track a living, street-level pulse. Not every track yells. Stranger in Moscow moves like rain on glass, slow, hushed, intimate. Its loneliness set to a minimalist heartbeat. And then there's Earth Song, which climbs from whisper to roar, a cathedral-sized plea for a wounded planet. Whether you think the arrangement is too grand or just grand enough, the ambition is impossible to miss. In the United States, You Are Not Alone made chart history as the first single to debut at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The Hot 100 is the primary weekly ranking that blends sales, radio, and streaming. It's a stat with weight, day one demand at the very top. In the United Kingdom, Earth Song reached the Christmas #1 in 1995 and held the summit for 6 straight weeks. In Britain, the Christmas #1 isn't just trivia. It's a cultural scoreboard. The 1996 Brit Awards pushed the era back into headlines when Pulp's Jarvis Cocker stormed the stage during Earth Song. Some saw the move as protest, others saw it as grandstanding. Either way, it proved a pattern. The spectacle could elevate, and it could ignite. The History World Tour opened in Prague on September 7, 1996, then crossed continents. Reports put it at around 82 shows and roughly 4.5 million attendees. Beyond numbers, the set lists were a statement. Billie Jean, Beat It, and Thriller flowed into They Don't Care About Us, Earth Song, and Scream. The old and the new didn't compete. They completed each other. Whatever the critics said, people still showed up, sang along, and stayed till the last encore. During one stop in Seoul on October 11, 1996, the show got an unscripted twist. A man in a powered paraglider, quickly dubbed a fan man by the press, descended into the stadium mid-performance of Earth Song and landed on stage. Security rushed in, but Jackson barely missed a beat, finishing the song as if nothing had happened. The stunt became a brief tabloid frenzy and a strange footnote in the History Tour's legend. The tour also showed Jackson's instinct for choreography as narrative. When Earth Song swelled, it wasn't just a vocal peak, it was a staged plea. When Scream slammed, it wasn't just energy, it was defiance you could dance to. The show argued the album's thesis without a speech. Every superstar becomes two things over time: a catalog and a story. The Recording Industry Association of America, which certifies milestones like gold and platinum, marks history with multi-platinum status in the United States. Streams and sales continue to pile up worldwide. Meanwhile, reported catalog deals describe eye-watering valuations, figures widely cited around the billion-dollar mark, as Sony is said to have taken a significant stake in recorded and publishing rights. The precise terms sit behind contracts. The public sees headlines and estimates. Some fans cheer the scale as proof of lasting value. Others worry that ownership shifts put distance between the art and the artist's intent. Both reactions make sense. Then there's the biopic, Michael. After schedule changes, it's set for April 24, 2026. Reports suggest an epic runtime and a sweeping timeline. Biopics shape perception for new generations. People may meet Jackson through a film before they meet him through the albums. Fair or not, cinema reframes legacies. Finally, late August resets the conversation every year. On August 29th, his birthday, Gary, Indiana, and Las Vegas events light up social feeds. For creators, those moments are natural discovery spikes. For fans, they're a reason to hit play again. The sound of scale. In an age that often prizes minimalism, history dares to be immense. Choirs swell, drums thunder, strings crash. The size isn't excess for its own sake. It mirrors the size of the moment he was facing. The emotional range. The era holds both Scream and Stranger in Moscow, Fury and Solitude. That range is why listeners keep returning, because the record feels like a life, not a pose. Hooks that outlast headlines. They Don't Care About Us is chant-ready. You Are Not Alone moves like a slow burn. Earth Song starts with a hush and ends like a storm. Hooks are currency, and these still spend. Open questions that never fully close. Some listeners hear defensiveness in the new material. Others hear an artist dropping the mask. The lyric edits on They Don't Care About Us remain part of the discussion. The Brit stage invasion still divides opinion. And today's reported catalog valuations and the coming biopic keep pushing the legacy into new frames. The tension between memory and management surrounds every megastar now, but Jackson faced it early and in public. Scream. Feel how Janet's voice slices through the mix. Listen for the metallic percussion and the way the chorus lifts like a warning siren. It's reinvention as impact. Stranger in Moscow. The lyrics are sparse, almost diary-like. Focus on the drum whisper and the ambient layers. It's what loneliness sounds like when the city won't stop moving. They don't care about us. The rhythm is a street march. The Brazil visuals matter. Protest given faces, colors, and the heartbeat of a lodum drums. Earth Song. Start at the quiet opening. Notice how each section raises the emotional stakes. Voice to cry, strings to wave, choir to flood. Whether you love it or not, you feel it. You Are Not Alone. Beyond the tenderness, this was a historical chart moment. A debut straight at #1. That alone tells you the audience was still there, waiting. From there, go deeper. Tabloid Junkie dissects media obsession. This time around, bristles with defensive energy. DS has long been interpreted as a pointed message toward a California law figure. Interpretation, not a court document. And The Closer, Smile, a Charlie Chaplin standard, ends the journey with a surprising hush, an old Hollywood melody as a modern lifeline. Reinvention isn't just a new haircut or a fresh synth patch. In pop music, reinvention means resetting what the audience expects from you. On history, Jackson pivots from untouchable superstar to embattled narrator. He keeps the grandeur, the choirs, the choreography, the mega tour. But he lets you hear the pressure in the writing. He doesn't pretend the storm isn't there. He sings through it. 3 choices make this work. The duet as stance. Bringing Janet on to scream doubles the wattage and asserts unity. It tells you this isn't just self-defense. It's family standing shoulder to shoulder. The protest as pulse. They don't care about us fuses private frustration with public outcry. Even critics who disliked the lyrics admitted its chant power and community imprint. The confession is craft. Stranger in Moscow and You Are Not Alone allow vulnerability without surrendering precision. The melodies are careful. The feelings aren't. The era also reframes the idea of a comeback. Not every return is about chasing youth or topping old numbers. Sometimes the win is proving you can still make the world look up, even when it's already staring. And that sets up the last question. Who gets to tell this story now? Every enormous career faces the same cliff. When the narrative turns on you, can the music still carry you? History answers with a yes that isn't neat. It's loud. It's sometimes heavy-handed. It's often breathtaking. It's a person refusing to be only what the headlines say. Reinvention here isn't a costume change. It's a worldview. Keep the magic, admit the scars, and sing anyway. Tell us your history pick in the comments. Scream, Stranger in Moscow, They Don't Care About Us, Earth Song, or You Are Not Alone. Subscribe for more long-form episodes. No shorts, just real stories. And share this with someone who still knows every beat of Billie Jean. Legends and lyrics, where the music lives on.